people talk to this here in the telegram.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Sunday, July 28th races at Hastings Racecourse. We do have 8 races on tap on another glorious day.
Yeah, very nice card. 3-year-old race. It's a lower end, but a nice 3-year-old race, a nice 2-year-old race,
2-year allowance
main
race,
special weight. And it should be a nice sunny day. Let's get right into it.
Let's get into it. Field of 5 to kick it off. 12-5 maidens going 6.5. I've gone to the 4. Whose Daddy Is That? Dropping from maiden 30 down here for the 12-5. Monica and Russell and Aaron Greider have done extremely well this year, and this horse is well spotted. Definitely to take advantage of weaker opponents, and I just think this horse has got to be pretty live in here. It had a couple of tough trips in his last 2 from terrible posts, and I just think this horse is due for a good trip and probably going to get it. I don't see much speed on in here. I see the 2 Legal Bandit, or maybe the 1 Peyton's Best if he breaks, showing some speed. Other than that, Whose Daddy Is That? Should get a good trip. I put the 2 Legal Bandit in for second, a good runner-up effort to Hardware, who was taking a similar drop in class. He's dropping from 30. But Legal Bandit, that was a good race, I thought. Had every shot to win it, but still Hardware was just a little too tough. And I put the 3 My Dubai in for third. A couple of good on-the-board performances against better maidens. But this kind of 12-5's kind of come up tough with Legal Bandit and Whose Daddy Is That? Both horses that have hit the board for maiden 30 and or maiden allowance. And so it's kind of a tough maiden 12-5. So I went 4, 2, and 3.
I got the same horses, but I put the 3 My Dubai on top. He's had a little freshener, and he's run good races. That second start of his life, that maiden special weight going long. For one, going long his second start, and he ran to Bluegrass Pride and Monaghy.
Both next out winners.
We both come out and won their next start. So I like My Dubai on top. I have Whose Daddy Is That in the second spot of the Monica Russell barn, as Mike mentioned. And in third spot, Legal Bandit. I have the same horses, I just flopped around. I got 3, 4, and 2. Excuse me. On to the second race. 2-year-olds, maiden optional 30, basically a 2-year-old maiden allowance race. And I've gone to the 1 horse, Copper City, out of the owned by the Wheeldon Thoroughbreds. First time starter out of the Rosie Anderson barn. Rosie's having a very strong year. And they bought this horse out of a 2-year-old in training sale for $90,000. It's a city zip. It looks like it's been working very well, so I think all systems go. I'm not crazy about the post, but they've had her at the gate. And she's been breaking very well, so I don't see that being a big problem. The second spot I put Appreciate the Roses. They need a Bolton barn, homebred of Peter Redikops. The works look good. Nice middle draw. Aaron Greider takes the call. And the third spot, I went to the outside Grove Trotter, a horse who has a couple starts. Ran a good race last one in the New Westminster, and just got a little tired. Was in a tough race against Stevens, a 3-way trade. I got 1, 4, and 7.
Okay, I got the same 3 horses. I see it exactly the same way. Copper City, well-bred, well-schooled, obviously well-prepped, because this horse went into a 2-year-old in training sale in Ocala, Florida, and obviously worked well. Brought $90,000. Mike Wheeldon, always not afraid to spend money, and always a big contributor to the game. And nice to see him perhaps have a very nice 2-year-old here. And Rosie, as you mentioned, off to a great start. She always trains well. She
does a good job.
If she's training at 10%, it's because her stock isn't good. And she's training at a high percent, and she's got some nice stock. She does a really good job. And the 4 horse Appreciate the Roses, I agree. Good connections and nice work tab. The 7 Grove Trotter set the pace in the New Westminster before tiring, but I think the return to 3.5 furlongs will be good. And then maybe the 1 horse to throw in would be owner trainer Bill McLaren, who's done well with some 2-year-olds in the past. He's a veteran trainer that's been training horses since the 80s. He had nice 2-year-olds like Billy Blue. I don't want to go into all of them, but I mean, he had really nice horses, and he got them.
What was the really good one he had?
He had a bunch of very nice ones.
Jet?
AJ Jet.
AJ Jet, that's the one.
AJ Jet, and he's a very good conditioner at getting young horses ready. And this horse, has an obscure pedigree. Cherut's is unknown, but he made a pile of money. Cherut, he's a nice horse, and a lot of people were spending some money on the Cheruts at the sale, which was encouraging. And but a nice final prep in 35. So I mean, I'm just saying it's a barn.
Get down to the paddock.
Have a look, but Bell can do very well with 2-year-olds.
Yeah, don't be scared of that one.
Put that one in. But 147, I ended up going with. On to the third race, some non-3 8-granders going a mile and 16th. Got some fillies and mares here. I ended up on the 3 Wild Acceleration. It been running against the boys in our last 3 starts just to get distance races, and actually performed well behind Ray's Reno and Wayland Jack last weekend. And I thought that race was good enough for her to be a major player in this race. Ryan Pacheco re-rides for Kerry Raven, and I'm going to try Wild Acceleration to win it. I put the 2-horse Forever Me. It was kind of the obvious choice. Great form, a bunch of firsts and seconds. I mean, everyone wants to glom onto those ones. But, I had every shot to win. I got a little far back. I wasn't crazy about that, but I did lose to a horse that's, we used to run for a lot more money and remembering when. And I put the 6-horse Tilda Victory in for third, claim for 5 Gs off of a very easy win. Goes on Lasix, stretches out. He's a horse that is bred to run long. His brother Tilda Storm was very nice. It also Ken Johnson owned, so I could see why this horse probably got claimed, trying to relive a little of the past. And we'll see if that pedigree can kick in another nice horse, and could be. But 3-2-6 for me. I like Wild Acceleration.
I put the 6 on top. I like Tilda Victory. Dropped in for maiden 5, was an easy winner. Was claimed by Kelly Rycroft on behalf of Ken Johnson, good friend of the Derby. Ken Johnson.
He's here today, heading golf.
He's here today.
He's watching the show.
Lives a good life.
He does.
But I like Kelly's stats off the claim. 67%. 2 of his last 3 claims have come back to win, so I got Tilda Victory on top. Forever Me, as you mentioned, the obvious horse in here. A lot of firsts and seconds. I got Forever Me in the second spot. In the third spot, I put Doreen's Delight, one that was running against Closing Intentions and had a good second to Forever Me. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Doreen's Delight get in the mix with Enrique Gonzalez aboard. I got 6, 2, and 5. On to the 4th race. 3-year-olds claiming wide open 5,000. I've gone to the 4 Serendipity Grove. He's been kind of working his way down the ladder, and last time he ran in a 7,500 non-3 against older horse, against 3-point play, joint choice, game 7. Only got beat a length and ran 4th. He didn't run the fastest fractions, which kind of scares me. He did get a little tired late, but I think this is a softer spot, so I got Serendipity Grove on the top. The second spot, I put Got Him. He's had a little month freshener, which I think he needed. He won a couple for 15, 10,000 earlier on in the meet. Ran a little flat last time for 10. Now with a little freshener under him. Good work the other day in 101. He could be back. I wouldn't be surprised to see him win it. And the third spot, I went to the 1 Take a Back Road out of the Greg Tracy barn. Only saw him once this year. He's a horse who's always run higher. Only saw him once. He ran in a 15 against Got Him and got beat almost 20 lengths. But he's got that race under his belt. He drops down for 5. Greg Tracy knows how to have him ready. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the mix. I got 4, 6, and 1.
I see a pile of speed in here, and I think that'll help out the 6-horse Got Him. Dropping from 10 down here for the 5. Had no pace at all last time, and those are a lot tougher horses. Michael's Glory, We Can Be Heroes. I know Serendipity Grove hung on for 3rd, but he should have in those fractions. But Got Him for me was up against it pace-wise, and the way of the race flow was just brutal for him. So give him another shot. I think the race flow will be much better for him this afternoon. Put the 3-horse Extra Moon. I'm going to give this horse a shot, shortening up 6.5. Nice score going a mile and 16th. Kind of got cooked on a fast pace last time. Kind of a tough track, and it was not the day to go 23-2, 47-2 going long. But I think he can rebound. And I gave the 1 Take a Back Road a shot for 3rd. He'd been freshened up after a disappointing effort on the class drop. He continues to tumble down the class ladder, but I like the work tab. I'm going to give Take the Back Road another shot. I left Serendipity Grove off, but definitely a horse you got to have in your pick 4s, but he will be heavily bet. But I went 6, 3, and 1. On to the 5th race, maiden 5 granders, going 6.5. I ended up on the 2-horse Castrati. Likely going to get a dream pace scenario with horses like Checker Plate, the 1 horse, the 3 Bite Your Tongue, the 7-horse Storm and Candy, the 8 Intended Consequence, and the 9, all having similar running styles. Half the field are going to the front, and they have 22-1 type speed. So Castrati could take a perfect trip sitting in behind them. Got beat like Keno Magic, who came from last, to nip him. But I think Castrati's your horse. A little concerned that Antonio Reyes leaves this horse for the 5, act exotically. But this horse has been working well for Mel Snow. Mel can have one ready off the first-time starter, goes on Lasix, and it's interesting that Reyes shows up on this horse. So exotically might be live in here, and I've got her in the 2nd spot, and I put the 8 Intended Consequence dropping back down after being a pace casualty for 10 grand, 21-4, 45-3 was a little too much for him against Hardware and Legal Bandit, so he's back down for 5 where he was claimed for. So I'll put him in for third. I went 2, 5, and 8. I really like the 2 and 5 though.
I got the same horses, but I put the 8 on top. I like Intended Consequence. A couple seconds for maiden 10,000. Went up to maiden 30. That wasn't for him. Came back to maiden 10 and ran into the very tough Hardware and Legal Bandit. Now in for 5. I think it's a softer spot, and I think he could get the money. The second spot, Castrati. Couple seconds, as you mentioned. I like him, so I put him in second. And same thing, because of the move from Reyes, taking off him to ride Mel Snow's horse, I got the 5 horse Act Exotically in the third spot. I got 8, 2, and 5. On to the 6th. Claiming 4,000 for 3-year-olds and up, and I've gone to the 2 Mull Over out of the Craig McPherson barn. Only got beat a length and a half by last time by Lookout Dubai for 10,000. And Lookout Dubai came back and won for 15. So I think that was a pretty live race. Joy of the Lord too. He's been running against tough horses: Super Steve, Pacal. Now he drops in for the non-winners of the year for 4, and I like him in here. I like it too. He's got a nice stalking kind of style. He can sit off the pace, and under Grider should make a nice move around the turn. In the second spot, I put Funny Face, a horse who did win one this year, but ended up with a bad test, so he's still eligible for this race. He comes back in it, and he should be a handful. And in the third spot, I put Canucks Roar out of the Charlie Miller barn, another horse that won one earlier on in the year in the non-3 category. Just got beat by Ice Rules last time. He figures in here. Any one of those 3, I could see it. I think it's Mull Over, Funny Face, Canucks Roar. I got 2, 6, and 1, but I think those are interchangeable.
Well, I like the 6 horse Funny Face.
Yeah.
I really like this horse. I'm, he's reunited with his old barn. Phil Hall used to have this horse, I believe. But actually, no, he didn't.
No,
Jim Ellickson had it, and then went to
Mel
Mel Snow, and then Praven. But Praven's claimed the horse back, and they've had success together. Phil Hall and Praven, but I think he might be the speed of the race. I'm looking for Funny Face just to go. Stop rating this horse,
Yeah.
and this use his speed. He's a 21-4 speed horse.
Early on in his career, he was a very tough speed horse. Yeah.
And it's so much speed has been taken out of him, and now he's kind of rating. And maybe his physical condition has something to do with that. But I'm hoping this horse just goes and plays Catch Me If You Can. So I like this horse to win it. Put the 4 Eustonia in for second. Does shorten up to 6.5 furlongs, but I think a horse that's versatile enough to win it for Mel Snow. A good runner on Peffer de Minstrel's time the last time he sprinted. And that was against some slow fractions. So I think he's going to benefit from a little bit more pace in here. And I put the 3 Vying for Glory, a pretty honest horse for Craig McPherson. There's a couple of horses in here. I've left Mull Over off the ticket, but I could see the horse being in the money. And Canucks Roar as well. I mean, there's many chances in this race, but you have to take a stand on something. And I'm going to try Funny Face. I'm just going to say this horse is going to run a better race, and I know he's better than a $4,000 horse, so I'm going to go 6, 4, and 3. On to the 7th race, some non-3 claimers for 8,000, going a mile on the 16th. Pick the 5 Whalen Jacks, picked a good spot, coming back quick though in just 9 days, but we'll see if he can handle the quick turnaround. He was a no excuse runner-up to Ray's Reno. Ray's Reno just had some nice fractions ahead of him, but he had dead aim on him and could not run by. He was the filly ran behind him while the acceleration. So, a little, maybe I should have played against this horse, but if Monaghy I put in for second, a little alarming, the fact that this horse is down here for 8,000 after a maiden 30 score, but he's a horse that I still think you have to respect him. And the 3 horse Timeless Storm, another one taking the big plunge in class. Another pace horse. It could be could be a pretty solid pace in here with Timeless Storm in the race, and he deserves respect too. He was running in them open 25s and some tough non-217s and performing actually better than luck. And he's a horse that could easily win. Didn't like this race at all, Drew, but I went 5, 6, and 3.
I got the same horses. I put Timeless Storm on top. I think that big drop is too much to ignore. He likes the distance. The last 2 times he's run long. I mean, the open 25 was obviously a little tough for him. But the time before that, he made a nice move off the pace and came flying, just missed winning that race. So I'm going to put Timeless Storm on top. I put Monaghy, as you mentioned, off a maiden 30 score, coming down to the non-3-8. But it's tough to get a long race for these horses, and a conditional long race has been tough to come by, and I think that's why you see Monaghy in here. And in the third spot, I got Whalen Jack. I don't think, with those 2 in it, that changes the complexion of the race. With those 2 out, I think he would be an absolute kind of lead pipe cinch in here. But with these 2 big droppers in here, that scares me. So I have him in the third spot. I got 3, 6, and 5 in the 7th. On to the nightcap, 3-year-olds and up, maiden 5. And I've gone to the 7 horse, Pumpkin Moonshine, out of the Vanaway barn. Just missed by a nose second eclipse last time. Kind of unlucky that day. He was on the front end, some decent fractions, and just got nipped late. In the second spot, I put 1440, another horse who's been right there in his last few starts. Just got beat a nose by Tally Stick, then came back. It was in that same race with Pumpkin Moonshine, and he was another one up near the pace, and they just got passed late by Tally Stick. And in the third spot, I put a Devil's Cause, a horse that fits nicely in here. I wouldn't be surprised to see him win it. Good effort last time behind Kai's Command, and he's had almost a month off since then, so he should be freshened up. I got 7, 5, and 4.
Yeah, I got the 4 Devil's Cause on top. I thought a good third last time to Kai's Command and Castrati. I see this horse getting a dream pace scenario with the 5, 1440, and the 6 or the 7 Pumpkin Moonshine going. And even the 2 horse, I think, will be a speed horse, Harris Valor.
Yeah.
He didn't break well and then rushed up and was in some trouble. But
his mum was fast.
Out of the mare Sarah Harris. So I think there is some speed in here, and I think a Devil's Cause could get an ideal trip, so I'll try him to win it. I put the 5, 1440, who's been unlucky not to win a race by now. Never seems to get beat by very much, but just can't seem to take home the winner's share of the purse. But I've got him in for second, and I put the 6 Barclay Bay, who had no excuses last time, but I'm hoping he was just flat because of running up country and in Princeton, because maybe it took a little starch out of him, and because he wasn't as good as he was early in the year. He should have run by those horses, because that was not a strong race, the second Eclipse race. So I went 4, 5, and 6. I didn't see a whole lot else in the race, but a Devil's Cause for me in the finale. Well, that'll do it for our analysis of the Sunday program. Up next on screen will be a quick look at our selections, a little recap. Back in race number 1, I did go to the 4 horse, Whose Daddy Is That, 4-2-3. Race number 2, I went to the 1, Copper City, 1-4-7. Race number 3, the 3, Wild Acceleration, gets back in against the girls. I went 3, 2, and 6. Race number 4, the 6, God Heen, going to hope he takes advantage of a hot pace scenario, 6, 3, and 1. 5th race number 2, Castrati, hopefully he can break through, 2, 5, and 8. 6th race number 6, Funny Face, 6, 4, and 3. 7th race number 5, Waylon Jack over the 6 and 3. And the 8th and final, number 4, A Devil's Cause over the 5 and 6.
Up next will be my picks. There we go. In the first race, I went to number 3, My Dubai, over the 4 and the 2. The second race, I agree with Mike on number 1, Copper City, over the 4 and the 7. In the third, I went to the 6, Till the Victory, over the 2 and the 5. In the fourth, I went to the 4, Serendipity Grove, over the 6 and the 1. In the fifth, I went to number 8, Intended Consequence, over the 2 and the 5. In the sixth, I went to number 2, Mull over the 6 and the 1. In the 7th, I went to the 3, Timeless Storm, over the 6 and the 5. And in the nightcap, the 8th, I went to number 7, Pumpkin Moonshine, over the 5 and the 4.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill out here on 176th and 0 Avenue. Make your way out here. Always lots of fun. If you can't make it to the races at Hastings and you're in the Surrey, White Rock, South Langley area,
valley,
get down here. It's lots of fun. And, lots of great food. Good atmosphere. The patio's open, so come on out and enjoy some great simulcast racing. Once again, the schedule's changed next weekend. There's no racing next Friday or Saturday.
We run Sunday, and then, of course, Monday, BC Cup Day. So we'll be looking forward to that. We will have all the action for you.
Yes, but only 2 days next week.
Yep.
Sunday, August the 4th, first race at 1:50, and Monday, the holiday Monday, August the 5th, I believe the first post will be 12:50. We're shooting for 10 races. 6 of them are stakes races. We do have the marathon as well, so shouldn't be any problems getting 10 races for the Monday, but it'll be an earlier post at 12:50. So
I guess you're going to have to skip church on Sunday night to get there
again.
For the opening day card, yes.
All right, thanks for tuning in here to Handicappers Corner. On behalf of Drew, we look forward to seeing you next week, next Sunday, for our next edition of Handicappers Corner from the Derby Bar and Grill.